Morning Show.
Good morning, Orange Walk. Good morning, Belize. Hope you're feeling nice today. A pleasant morning going out to all out there in this beautiful jewel of ours that is Belize. Welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show for Friday, April 17, 2020. Robert Checker Usher with you right here to take us up until 9 o'clock. We have most of the relevant information that you need, and we will be sharing those with you right here this morning on the Sugar City Morning Show. So that's right, folks, we'll be sharing all these relevant information with you all this morning right here on the Sugar City Morning Show. And you are also invited to join us in our conversation at 302-2170. That's 302-2170. You are also permitted to send in your text messages also at 600-5769. You can do it via WhatsApp or by regular text. We need to get some blessings this morning, and we connect with Delvey right here today. Good morning, Delvey.
Good morning, Mr. Chucky. Good morning to everyone listening.
Good to hear you.
Yes, it's good to be here. We're alive and breathing, thanks God.
Yeah, it's a lovely, beautiful morning. It's Friday, girl.
Yes, it is. TGIF.
Yeah, TGIF. All right, let's get blessed since it's TGIF.
All right. Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, this morning we just want to give you thanks once again for another day. Lord, may we never take a breath, a second for granted. Thank you for blessing us with the gift of life. Thank you for blessing us, Lord, with the opportunity to be able to be a part of this day, for it is only by your grace. Lord, this morning, we just want to give you thanks for how wonderful, how amazing you are. Thank you for your mercy upon us, Lord. Thank you for your loving kindness towards us. Thank you for preserving and protecting us, O Lord. And I pray, O God, that as we go about this day, may this day, Lord, be a reflection, may our lives, may our daily activities be a reflection of your love in and through it. That in whatever circumstance, whatever situation we may find ourselves in, that we may be humble enough to acknowledge, Lord, that you are with us, that you are for us, and you will never leave us nor forsake us. And I pray this morning, Lord, for every person who may be going through a trying time, some form of tribulation, those who may be ill, those who may be mourning at the moment, Lord. I pray for them. I pray that you send your angels to comfort and to guide them, Lord, and that we may just cling on to hope. That we may just cling on to hope, acknowledging that this here is also temporary. So I pray that you continue to bless each and every one of us, and may we be blessed. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. And thank you so much for praying for everyone today, girl.
Yes, Mr. Chucky.
Yeah, well, we're going into the weekend, you know.
Yeah,
so every day is like every day right now, you know.
Yes, one day at a time.
Yeah, correct. You can't go more than one day at a time, because it's one day, and it's at a time. So you can't go more than one day at a time, right?
Definitely.
So just stay safe, man, and make we have hope. Don't lose hope, and believe in the one from up above, because all the love and blessings come from love and up above, right?
That's right. Just have to cling on to that hope, Mr. Chucky. We'll get through this.
That's right. So all the best for the weekend, and if the good Lord so will, we will chat again on Monday morning, okay?
All right. Same to you, Mr. Tex. God bless.
Thank you. Folks, we continue and we go into the weather forecast for today, the 17th day of April 2020, and this report came in at 6 o'clock this morning. The general situation for today: seasonably dry, warm, and hazy conditions continue. If you have been noticing that all this week it has been that way. And the 24-hour forecast: sunny with a few cloudless spells today and clear to partly cloudy tonight. Rainfall, little or no rainfall is expected, and the winds are blowing east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots. The sea stayed choppy to moderate. Let's take a look at the temperatures for today. In the coast, 89 Celsius, that's 32 Celsius, 89 Fahrenheit, inland 36 Celsius, 97 degrees right here in the north today, and in the hills it's 29 Celsius, 85 Fahrenheit. As we take a look at the temperatures for tonight, in the coast 28 Celsius, 82 Fahrenheit, inland 23 Celsius, 74 Fahrenheit, and in the hills 21 Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. There's there's lots of advisories, watches, alerts, and warnings for today. Residents, especially those inland, are advised to stay hydrated and avoid direct sunlight as much as possible. And the risk of brush and forest fires remains high. A small craft caution may go into effect later today for gusty winds and locally rough seas. The outlook says dry, hot, and hazy conditions to prevail Saturday and Saturday night. As we now go into the astronomical conditions for today, high tide this morning at 7:15, one that is right around this time, followed by a low at 12:38 this afternoon, and a high at 6:45 p.m., followed by a low at 1:39 a.m. tomorrow. And sun was up bright and early. The sun was up bright and early at 5:34 and will set today at 6:09. And the moon will set today at 2:04 and rise tomorrow at 3:05. That's your general weather forecast, brought to you by the Belize Met Service and also by your North Television Channel 10. Folks, we got some information to share with you. We will be taking our first break of the morning. It's already 12 minutes after 7 o'clock, so let's take our first break and we'll be right back with you this morning right here on North Television Channel 10.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walktown. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future, a nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice to residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's Friday, folks. It's 17 minutes after 7, and today is Friday the 17th. Folks, we have the pleasure. Yesterday we announced that the Minister Aragon was going to be here, and he's here this morning, and we want to welcome him to the Sugar City Morning Show for this Friday. Good morning, Minister.
Morning, Chicky. Morning. And of course, good morning to our listeners and viewers, no?
Right.
Here on Channel 10, and of course, we are transmitted live via East Radio likewise, no?
Okay.
I'd just like to say a pleasant good morning to one and all, no matter where you are. You know, it's always a pleasure being here, and you know, to discuss some of the issues that we need to discuss, Checky. But at the same time, I think it is, again, we're on the 17th of April, and we are looking to see how long this pandemic will continue. As definitely, it's not an easy thing, and I am fully aware that it's not an easy thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it has impacted everybody's lives. So definitely, it is not an easy thing for people, especially, you know, people who are always out and about getting things done.
Yeah, true. But first of all, Minister, I know you're concerned about everybody, but how are you doing, you and your immediate family and persons close to you?
Okay, you know, well, you know, my kids go to school. My wife teaches, and they're at home right now. So for them, they're just being at home. You know, that at times is even a challenge. You know,
yeah,
having kids that you have to look after at home and things like that. So definitely, we are okay. But what concerns me the most is the fact that there are people out there that I know that have very, very they're worse off than anybody else, you know. And these are the people that concern me, because at the end of the day, I know the government programs that are being done is reaching out to as many as possible. And I think that at the end of the day, the government is doing a good job at it. But definitely, people must try to do their part by applying for these.
Yeah, that's the least you can do. That you
yes,
apply.
you need to apply. I mean, at this point in time, a lot of people come to me and expect, say, Mr. Aragon, well, I need for get this, I need for that. But the fact is, at this point in time, nothing is coming through any representative whatsoever. I can tell you that for a certainty. As far as I know, nothing. When I tell you nothing, we can't even recommend for a pantry.
Yeah.
You know, we can't even. There's people must apply on their own. And what we do is try to assist them by giving them the
numbers.
The numbers. We're trying to
help with their
assist
them.
Yes, so what to do, so that they can do that application and get the assistance from government. I know at this point in time, 2 specific programs that government has been doing, and I think during the course of this week, we have seen, I think, what I would want to nearly say close to over 20,000 people, close to 30,000 people are getting this financial assistance for what people had applied the week before.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working, definitely. It's
but like
working.
you know, Minister, everything take a process, right? Then
Of course.
everybody will be approved at the same time.
That's
but
right.
It's working already.
It's working. I spoke to a number of people who said money is already in the bank, and they have gotten their money, their 150 and things like that. So it is working, and for government to have done within what I would say less than 16 days process over 20,000 financial assistance to people to sell it to the bank, etc. I think it is going well. I think yes, they have to continue to work, and as far as I know from Carla Barnett, is that the work continues. They're continuing processing these forms and application for the financial assistance, and I think that there were people who did not have a bank account, right? So they're going to be issued cash cards. Well, these cards that you can go and withdraw money from.
Okay.
These cards are being processed. As far as I know, that the last update I've gotten is that these cards are in process, so people will be receiving those cards likewise and be getting that financial assistance. So that is going well, and I tell people, if you did not apply, apply, right? If you qualify and that, apply, you know, because if you don't apply, then you're nowhere.
Yeah.
Likewise, you have the food pantry program that is going on right now in Chiki.
Yeah, and that is
food
active.
Pantry is very active. It's very active, especially in Belize City. And I think a lot of people must understand how the food pantry work. I think government has had the Boost program, has had a food pantry program for
That's
many,
two different
many years.
programs, right?
Two different programs, the Boost program and the food pantry program. That program has been going on for quite some time now. And that were programs that were stated to assist directly with those people most in need within our country, especially in Belize City and other municipalities, etc. So what has happened is that these programs still continue, and I think for the food pantry program, I think people used to pay up to $12, and then they receive, I don't know, about $40 or $50 in groceries or something like that every week. And the Boost program, well, of course, I think they get some financial support every month. Not a lot, but they do get some for the mere fact that they're on the Boost program and things like that. What has happened now, government has basically continued with those programs. Those programs have not stopped any at all. But what they did, I think, instead of charging these people the $12, they forego that $12.
Yeah.
And these people will continue to receive their pantry. Okay. Apart from that, what government has done is decided to do is listen. Apart from that, the funding that they have gotten, they will now open up this food pantry for people who are in need, not necessarily on the program. So if you're not on the program, you can still apply now, and that way government will be able to get provisions to you to assist you, and that is why they came up with all of this program that in terms of the outreach for food pantries or for provisions for people in need is going through the Human Development Office, and that is why numbers are out there which you can call, give the information, etc. By doing that, you are able to then apply for the food pantry and get it as soon as they process and deal with that. Human Development calls you back and tells you what to do.
Yeah.
Likewise, if you can't get online, because a lot of people I know, like everything, when they call, sometimes they don't get through with the numbers. There's an online form that you can follow out, which is quick. I have gone through it myself personally. It's very basic. It's about like 5 or 8 questions, which is, you don't basically, all you do is put
either yes or no
or whatever, bam, and put your information, and that's it. You submit that. Some people say that doing online is far quicker, and you get a response far quicker. You know, I guess there's people who man the phones and people who man the computers, but whatever the means, I always tell people, make the effort and apply. If you need it, if you need the provisions and that, apply. Of course, if you don't need it, why will you apply? You know, you have people who are less fortunate that need those assistance.
Yeah.
Let these people apply. And I encourage our people, especially those in our rural areas that may need the help. And even in town, we have people who need that help, and I tell people, apply. And it's not difficult, but you need to take that initiative and make that call, or apply online to get that provision. It is something that government is, I think at this point in time, it's about $10 million that has been pumped into this
the Human Development
Development Office for this program for the outreach of provisions for people. So I think it is a very good program at this point in time, because there are people who are affected adversely more so than others. And I say this because, I mean, you have people who had at least savings, you had people who were working, and then you had those who were not working during this time, in terms of the fact that we can't catch and kill here at Belize. You can go work for one day, make nearly $25 or $20, and they live on that. And they have kids at home, they need them pampers, they need them milk, and their wife not at work, etc. These are the people who, to me, have been adversely affected. I think everybody has been affected in one way or the other, but definitely you have people out there who have it a tad more difficult than others. And I think this is when I talk, and I last time I was here, Checky, we talked about it in terms that we're asking people to look out for their neighbors too, you know. I mean, in every street, there are people who are less fortunate, and then everybody knows these people. I mean, because if you look at you're living on that street, you know your whole neighborhood, you know who is less fortunate, and those are the people we're trying, I think, need the help most, and these are the people who need to apply for these supports from government, and of course, you know, on our side. And I think it's not, I think a lot of representatives out there, a lot of standard bearers are trying to do their own program to reach out both on the UDP side and the PUP side, and I think that is good. I mean, at the end of the day, in these times of crisis, I think whatever assistance can be done that will reach out to the less fortunate, I think it goes a long way, and that is why we continue to do what we do every day in terms of trying to reach out to people, you know, and it's not easy.
Yeah, but us as tough, citizens, right? Also, Minister, like you say, look out for each other. If you know some people live around your area and maybe they not even have one radio and they not hear about the program, talk to them and help them and get their name and try help them fully in the farm.
Right,
if you know people can't do it, give them one lead hand. We have to help each other in this, because all of us are in it together.
Right.
You know, and then I heard the Prime Minister spoke yesterday, and I was overwhelmed to hear that we are getting good support internationally.
Right. I think the support is coming. Of course, you know, in a small country, a small developing country like Belize, there are a lot of challenges, you know. And so whatever support is coming in, it will go a long way for Belize. But yes, I mean, just finding monies to assist people with the $150 a week or $100 a week, whatever. Every 2 weeks, I mean, that alone, you are calculated, it adds up fast, you know. And of course, you're looking at all the other expenses that is taking place in terms of what it is doing, what this pandemic has done to our economy. I mean, you look at the tourism industry. Where are we with that right now? I would say we at a starting line. We're back to zero right now. There's no tourism here in this country right now. That is not driving, no tour guides. It's not driving, no hoteliers. It's not driving
restaurants,
no tours. You name it. No restaurants. No nothing. No spending. Not even to the local people who are artisans. You know. So it affects everything, and that impacts our economy tremendously. So I don't see, no matter how much money we get, I think it's always will be a challenge. You know that through this pandemic right now, government has had to borrow money from central bank and all of these things, you know,
to help the people.
And it's really tough. It's even the great United States is crying. You know, you got them. The President Trump, who wants to open up back things as soon as possible to get things going, because it is really tremendous. I was watching the news, and if I'm not mistaken, they're looking $300 billion. No, I don't remember how much they spent, but billions, I know. But you are talking serious money, and even the great United States know that this thing is crippling their economy.
Yeah, but Minister, with the population of our country, we sympathize with the families of the 2 persons who have died and everybody who have catch the virus. But I believe we are going well apart from that when it comes to positive testing of the virus.
Yes, right? I think so. I mean, and when you look at the amount of cases we have, you know, we always have to be wary that, all right, you have so many cases that have been tested positive. There might be others out there where
we're not really identified
as yet, or we don't know about. And these are the concerns, and that is why when government asks for you to stay home, if you don't have no purpose to be able to be home, it is because if you have the virus and you're at home, then it stays there. You know?
Right.
And you follow through in terms of not that exposure to pass on the virus, then it stays there and it dies there.
I like that you mentioned that if you stay home, because a lot of people say, man, with the lock-in per Sunday, and then we have restrictions out there because we can't go out at night, then businesses are closing. Those reasons is for us to stay in, because the more we are in, it puts us in a better position of staying free from this virus, right?
Right. And I do think that when you look at well, I think for the last 3 days we haven't had any case. No, I don't know what today will bring. What's the report today? But definitely, as far as I know, I think 3 days now we haven't had no more cases. That doesn't mean that it's not out there. The fact I know, if you look at the UK, I was looking at the news, and in the UK you have a lot of people who they have a great number that has been recorded in terms of having had the virus that were tested and found positive. But then you have a large amount of people in the community who have died and higher more than what is normal.
Mm-hmm.
So they are contributing a large factor, that additional people to COVID, to the coronavirus. But it's just that they never seek medical attention.
True. Yeah.
So that is a real situation, and I think that definitely we haven't seen that kind of case that we could say, well, you know what, a lot of more people are dead. But
we can't reach them.
Yeah, we're not reaching out. They were not identified to be positive with COVID-19. So, that to me, that is a good sign for us in terms that I think that we are doing a good job, but we have to stay the course in terms of dealing with this pandemic.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show. Muy buenos días.
Good morning, Mr. Agon.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Mr. Agon, what about people we can't afford a laptop? We can't go to our computer place, go print out, pull out their farm and send it through. What about them people who live way back a village, who not even have no internet access to internet, where they have some people who can't even read nor write? The real get to use people. What about them people? How this thing will reach the people for you to fill up their farm? I think they have to find a way for go to all of the village council and put them for work, for go out around the village and try help all the people to pull up their farm.
Yes, sir.
So I leave it. We could solo un granito de arena de botín, but
yes,
the real truth is cambio.
No, that's important. I think that's an important question, and because not everybody is computer literate. You understand me? Not everybody have an access, like he's saying, to maybe the internet or a computer, especially in the villages. Like I said, to me, the hard-hit areas are those people who live in the remote villages, because sometimes you don't even have for the internet. But in this case, I ask that you look towards the areas that there are people in the villages who have internet. I think in Santa Marta, you don't have no connection. There's no Wi-Fi connection there. So definitely for those people, applying online is a challenge. But the phone numbers do work in terms of right now for the food pantry. Definitely you can call in and try to get through those numbers. I think there's a total of about 13 numbers that people can call in. But in all the other villages, you have access to internet, and somebody in that village have an access to a computer that could assist you, or you can do it through your phone. If you get you a Wi-Fi area, you can do that online. It is about us. I know government has done these programs. It is about now trying to get these access to people, and people need to seek these access. I know the financial assistance, there were forms that Social Security that people could have gotten and filled out and submit their applications. No?
Yeah.
But definitely the online is a part of our day and age right now, where everything is through the phone or the computers. I know a lot of people applied via their phone.
Yeah, they could do it right there for the phone.
Definitely, I know that is a challenge, and I ask people, that is why we ask, if you know people in your neighborhood, in your street, and you would lend a hand to them, then assist them.
Yes, man, you go far away. Do you know if Social Security will open today?
I am not sure, Chucky. I have no idea to what extent they'll be open, but I would want to tend to believe that they should remain open.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of people who still have to deal with Social Security for many reasons,
Yes.
Because not because we're only dealing with the pandemic.
There's other business that
people broke their hand at whatever they happen through. They might be working from home. A lot of things.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, brother Chicky.
How are you doing, my brother?
Good morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
I just want to say this, that I want back up what a caller just said just a while ago, no?
Sorry.
We have people within the ghetto beds where even in their villages where naturally don't know about no Bluetooth, no yellow tooth, no text, no Wi-Fi, no Y10, they don't know nothing about that birds. That's just what I'm saying. Man, I fact about people where actually need no for sign their name. You understand me?
Right.
And we have to start to look out for them people that them they don't get affected before this come down. You understand me? So we have to try look out for that kind of people. Like we have to start from the bottom. You see what I'm saying? And even with the sanitation workers, not for them, brother. You know, cause I could tell you, I've been around. And I could see where people abstracting people that we don't know for read and write good breads. Okay? So, and I could tell you they are the people, they are the most workforce in the country. We clean up the country, we deal with the dirt situation, we deal with the cemetery, and so forth. You understand me? Then they are the people, man. You understand me? And I want to say this to any government, any party, my government, the opposition. I hope that they don't take this thing as no politics and so forth, man. We need to have one heart to each other. We don't give out anything no because that one the blue or that one the red. You know who watch there? Let no man. You reach out there people there. You understand me? And all the people back at their villages, man, like Bumba, Corsalito, way the back of the areas there. Where the people in the got no communication and so. We have to get to the people there. Then in the city, because the most case they in the city, Belize City. I said this that they want social distance and so forth, but we have to attack the yard where you see we got some yard with about 10 bunker in the yard. You understand me? When I mean bunker, about 10 league holes, some of them make out a pallet and anything in the breads. And when not only in the city we got the yard, we got these yards right out the different villages and towns. You understand me? We try give them people who want to peace and try make them keep their distance and so forth, build one low income house really quick. Make them scatter about because the best thing we have in this country where they help with this virus is the heat, the climate, and we got space. We got space where the waste. You understand me? And we need to start to, we have to communicate with everybody. We have to keep with social distance. The people spread the disease, you know.
Yeah.
The disease not spread by itself. You understand me? So we have to keep the social distance. We have to stay in. But at the same time when they stay in, man, we have to help out the people because, you know, hungriness is something different.
Yeah.
When you're hungry, that's something different, brother. And if you watch your kids in the ball, they think they become stressed. You know? Nobody no mind staying, but people want to stay in a dead for hunger or far from the kitchen. You know, so we have to look out for the people there. And I'm saying it to all political people out there. Stop the take this thing and stop to use it as one political tool. Sickness, political tool. Okay? Make we start to help each other, respect each other. Respect.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Carla.
I think Carla made some very, very good points. Definitely that, like I said, the rural areas, check it, those are the people, some of them don't have access to internet, but they need to seek that assistance from those who can assist them. Likewise, I think people in those villages, some of these villages have the internet, so they have to. These are the people who could help them, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely, they need to make the phone calls for the pantry. You have 13 numbers, so they can make that call. Likewise, in terms of the financial assistance, they'll have to maybe come to town and make that application at Social Security, you know. But it is important that they do so, because if they don't make those calls, then they're not going to receive the help from government. Of course, like I said, there are representatives and standard bearers who are doing their own thing, because I started off by saying this is not political in terms of the fact that government is not channeling anything through any minister. There's not a grain of rice that has come from government for me to assist the people.
Okay,
None whatsoever. So all the programs, like the program that I do to trying to reach out to the most in need, and I say most in need because the truth is, everybody might say, well, we need.
Yeah.
But there are people who need even more so.
Yeah.
I understand that situation, and the truth of the matter is to help and give everybody at this point in time, it's very difficult. It's not easy. You understand me? Because you have to find the finance to do these things. But I believe that if we try to reach out to the most in need, that is where it is where it counts the most in terms of reaching out to the people who need this help. And it's not easy because sometimes you go there, you miss people, etc. You know, and so I'm grateful when people could call or text and say, you know what, this is the person in my street where we miss or we pass. Please, if we could help that way, it alerts us, and we try to reach and get that certain help to these people. So I think it is a community effort, and right now, like I said, UDP and PUP standard bearers might be doing things, and I think that is good. I think because it goes together to assist people out there that need that help, you know.
Right.
But definitely it is a community effort. Everybody must do their part. You at home must do your part to stay safe and to not assist in spreading out this virus. You know, you assist by calling in and applying for the help from government. And of course we do our best to try to reach out and assist you all in ways we can do now.
Okay, Minister, on that note, we will take a break. When we come back, we want to talk about the new measures when it comes to the curfew and the security system, how things will work out there, so, and we understand that new amendments are coming, no? So I want to touch on that, but we'll take a break, folks. It's exactly 18 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be right here, right back on the Sugar City Morning Show right here on North Television Channel 10, also live on East Radio.
My fellow Belizeans, I need periodically to bring you up to date on our war against COVID-19, and it is for that purpose that I address you now. There are, of course, two basic fronts to our campaign, the medical and the socioeconomic. Regarding the medical, I am certain that we are making every effort to do the right things. The nationwide lockdown is one sure way of helping to contain the spread of the virus. Accordingly, that lockdown will be made to run at least its 14-day course. The core medical team, tirelessly led by Dr. Marvin Manzanero, is receiving more expert support than ever. Several additional medical personnel have joined the National Task Force and have been given various critical assignments. Gaps and omissions are being addressed in as inclusive a manner as possible, in which connection the preliminary understanding reached with the KHMH union is key. Ample testing has always been our necessary objective, and a decisive increase is now in full flood. This has been made possible by the acquisition of a better than sufficient supply of test kits, accompanied as well by the procurement of more PPEs. We are therefore well armed to pursue and try to control the Belize City and San Ignacio outbreaks, the COVID-19 clusters. I say again that we are as fortified as we can be in combating this most deadly and elusive of enemies. And I salute all those, especially the frontline health and essential workers, that have been in the vanguard of our press against this demon foe. I also remind Belizeans, though, that you are the ground troops in this battle. So hold the safety standard high. Wear your mask, practice good hygiene, adhere to social distancing, lend a hand to your neighbor, and please refrain from spreading rumors. I turn now to the socio-economic aspect of what is proving to be our long nightfall. Our principal efforts here are twofold: to disburse all needed unemployment relief funds and to roll out an emergency countrywide food assistance program. We're in the middle of an economic shock, the likes of which the modern world, let alone our beloved Belize, has never seen. Business activity has come almost to a halt. People have lost their jobs and livelihood, and revenue sources have dried up. The tax base has utterly eroded, and we are terribly short of money. We are without coin of the realm, and it is not possible to collect anything but a trickle. Still, government must operate and the country must be kept going. We have to find salaries, especially for our doctors and nurses, our security forces, immigration and customs officers, and all the public servants that maintain the administration. We must keep the lights on and the water flowing. We must pay for the PPEs and the testing kits and the Cuban brigade that has left their homeland to assist us. Above all, we must help our people. We must feed our people. It is an unprecedented challenge. It seems an impossible task, but it is one we go after with hands and heart, and we will prove equal to the job. Borrowing from our central bank, working with the international donor community, employing every resource we can, we will deliver to our citizens. As of today then, 23,264 persons have already been approved for unemployment relief and their payments sent to their banks. Ultimately, this particular safety net will cover upwards of 50,000 persons. Likewise, 4,000 households for a total of 17,000 beneficiaries have received food baskets. This first tranche of that particular program is costing government $12 million. Now, this unparalleled outreach in this unparalleled time has not been perfect. We wish that the money and the food could be more. We wish that the distribution process could be faster. But the shock to our lives, our economy, our systems is like nothing any of us has ever witnessed. Everything has been shattered. Our capacity is under the most unimaginable strain. And as has been demonstrated in even the great United States of America, it will take more than a day, a week, a month to put Humpty Dumpty together again. The unmistakable fact, though, is that we will manage, that we are managing this labor of Hercules. What we find for our people can by no means be a princely sum. We can't give food baskets that are overflowing to excess, but no one will be left behind. No one will have to do without. Everyone will get the basics, and all will be able to survive on what government will provide. With the $75 million borrowed from the Central Bank of Belize, we are able to help the unemployed for at least the next 7 months. Furthermore, the pace of disbursements will continue to accelerate as we straighten out the processing kinks. Of course, no one knows how long this grim COVID reaper will be with us. But the government, as the coverall for Belizeans, is in this for the long haul. The monies from the international financial institutions are taking some time to reach us, but they are coming. Thus, we expect at least $30 million more for food assistance, and there should be $100 million to augment our already existing boost program. Now, Boost is a form of cash transfer to the needy and is separate and apart from the unemployment relief. As the $100 million come in, people currently getting food assistance will be placed instead on Boost, and that is because the Boost will last longer. With the cash transfer, they will then be able themselves to buy their own food, and this will ease the distribution strain on the Ministry of Human Development. As well, the pre-existing food pantry program, under which people paid a minimal amount, has now become completely free. The point is that government is doing everything humanly possible, deploying every ingenuity so that, to repeat our mantra, absolutely no one will be left behind. These are the hardest of times, but all the details of the government response that I have just gone into are designed to make one thing crystal clear. There is no need for despair. No one need feel helpless. And that is because we that are called upon to do so will take care of you. This is our sacred duty and one that we will discharge to the limit. I close by making one other promise to you. All that we do is without regard to color, red or blue. No politician of any stripe will get hands on any GOB money, whether for unemployment relief or for food distribution. This is the way we have begun, and this is the way we will continue. To those on both sides of the aisle that would have it otherwise, there is only one response. The nation comes first, and country over party every time. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. The time is exactly 8 o'clock, folks. It is 8 o'clock or it's minutes to 8?
Minutes to 8.
Oh, 7 minutes to 8. We are live right here on North Television Channel 10 and on East Radio. We want to say good morning to all the listeners of the East Radio in the East area. Good morning to you all. Have yourself a wonderful day. We have Minister Aragon with us this morning. Minister, before we went on the break, we mentioned that we were going to touch a little bit when it comes to the new amendments, when it comes to the law and the curfew of Belize. Do you have anything on that?
Well, yeah, I haven't seen. I don't know if the Governor General has signed the last SI or the statutory instrument in regards to the new amendments that will be done. I think the Attorney General spoke somewhat about it already, and from what I know is that these amendments will have where kids from the ages of 16 and under will not be allowed to be out on the street anytime after 4 p.m. No?
After 4, and that becomes in effect today, right?
I think today, this evening, yeah. So basically, anybody under 16 and under cannot be out on the street after 4 o'clock.
Is that only if they are by themselves, or what if they are out there with their parents?
Well, if they're out there, they must have a viable reason, maybe an emergency, then they carry on a hospital or something like that.
Okay.
So they're trying to limit the exposure of young people, no? Because, during the day, maybe the mother send them to the store nearby, go buy something, etc., but after 4, especially when stores are closed, there's no reason why a child should be out there in the public, So that is the only amendment I understand will be made, and the rest continue to stand. The SIs that are already out there, in terms of movement, in terms of when stores are open or closed, all of these things continue to be.
Yeah, people people are also asking about the mechanic shop because somebody said they got a mechanic shop and they wonder if they could open.
Well, you know, the mechanic stores, because definitely we have an industry in Orange Walk.
Oh, yes, the cane industry.
We have the cane factory that is continuously working. It has not stopped and will not stop. So, of course, if you have a cane farmer whose truck needs mechanical repairs, then of course a mechanic can look at that, because that is essential wheel. What I'd call it essential.
It is right now, yeah.
And they are working, so definitely those trucks need to be serviced. So mechanic shops, for the purpose of maybe servicing these trucks, or maybe servicing an ambulance or police vehicle, essential vehicles and things can be done. That is as far as I can see now. But these are things that you know, we're here in the north. We have the factory going on. The factory has not ceased, and definitely we need to ensure that continues. No.
Okay. Then how about the Sundays? Last Sunday we had a lockdown.
Right.
The announcement came late. Does that continue?
Yes, that continues. That continues, and you know, I think traditionally way back in the past, I think many years ago, stores never used to open Sunday.
Everybody used to stay home on Sunday, with the exception of going to church, right?
You know, exactly. So, yeah. But definitely the every Sunday here on until otherwise, all businesses etc. will be closed. You know, okay. Everything from gas stations,
Minister, people say
stores to
why
every business that is allowed to open now would be closed.
They say, why the government want make we stay home on Sunday? Why would they lock down on Sunday? What's the main reason behind it?
Well, it's all about the social distancing, you know. I mean, you know, Sundays people might want to go out here and there, you know, and stuff, movement. And I think that, listen, as a community, we have to understand we have a major responsibility and major role to play in this. It's not only the government who have to set certain rules and things. We have to do our part as responsible citizens. I mean, if we know that, listen, all right, we're there basically where we are at a stay-at-home kind of process right now, where we're asking people to stay at home if you have no purpose of being out there. If you're not working with the cane factory, I mean, you don't need to be out there, you know. You know, if your office is closed down, or you can work at home instead of working at the place. You know, all these things that have happened already. We're asking people to try to, that social distancing is important. So we're asking people, listen, stay at home if you have no reason to be out there. But of course, we have to do our part as citizens. I mean, if we don't do our part in terms that we tend to come out and want to come out, just like shopping.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the store every day, go get something. You know that, listen, Sunday I don't need to be home, I will stay home. You got all week where you could go and get your groceries.
Okay,
and you're ready, man. You don't have to go out every minute, you know.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hi, morning.
Si la gente no entiende español, no entiende inglés, háblelo en chino, a veces se entienden.
Okay.
Porque usted ya nos dijo, ponga su distancia, laven sus manos, queden en casa, pero no quieren estar afuera.
Yeah.
Si no pueden entender, así como le digo, digan en chino, a ver si entiende la gente. Porque gracias a Dios que nosotros no tenemos ese virus. Le damos gracias que cerraron los dos puestos de acá de Corozal y de Belice. Pero siempre la gente bien son cercos, van para el otro lado, vienen acá, enferman a la gente.
Yeah.
Y acá atrás también por la puerta necesitan policía, porque andan chamacos de 16, 10 años, 12 años acá afuera.
¿Ese es en la noche o el día?
De la noche. Ahí andan montando bicicletas de la noche, como a las 10, 11 de la noche.
Yeah.
Y estamos tratando de llamar a la policía, no contestan. Damos como 10, 15 llamadas, no contesta el policía.
Yeah. Ese es en Blackwater Creek, dice.
Ajá, acá en Blackwater.
Ok, pues muchas gracias.
Ok, don Mr. Chucky. Ok, Mr.
Yeah,
sure. Que tengan buen día y que Diosito lindo les bendiga.
Okay, gracias, muchas gracias por esa llamada.
How can you adjust that, Minister?
Well, definitely the law that will come out now will address that in terms that, and people must understand, like I said, this is a community effort. I mean, everybody is in this, the government, the people of this country, and everybody must do their share. parents must know where their kids are. If the law is going to state that as of today, after 4 p.m., no child that is 16 years and under will be allowed to be out, then ensure that the child not go out, because when they pick up your child, they will come and pick you up as a parent, because you should know that your child should not be out there, right? So we have to do our part. That's just like I talk about the social distancing rules. You know the tremendous task the police and the military, everybody in national security, everybody that is essential workers out there are undergoing right now. No easy, you know. So the police cannot police the entire nation in terms of every single person to ensure that they are doing their part. We have to take that responsibility and say, you know what, if I go in shopping, let me make my little list, and I go out and buy this little list where I need for my home, come back, and after they go there every minute, every hour go by. You know, we need to do that, and by doing that, then we contribute to that social distancing, and we assist the government in carrying out its mandate. Because I will tell you, Czechia, we at this point in time, the greatest asset we have is that, one, we're a small country, we are spread out, like the Carla say, even the heat, the help we. But at the end of the day, if we are going to overcome this thing, we will overcome it by working together, both the citizens and the government. Because definitely we cannot have a system where we don't have in terms of a national healthcare system that is at the highest peak in terms, because we are a developing country. You look at the great United States, we were a first world country, cannot cope with the COVID infections that come about. So we don't want to get to that level where our health systems become overwhelmed. And the best way to do that is by prevention. If we prevent this virus from spreading, then we will come out of this thing far better than many other countries. You understand? You look at Mexico, you look at a lot of nations out there will suffer and will have loss of life, you know. Thankfully in Belize we haven't gotten to that stage in terms of we're having a large quantity of people dying and that. And if you notice, a lot of these people who have tested positive were people who, one way or the other, were exposed to it, you know.
Yeah, that's the only way to get it.
Exposed to it unknowingly, you know, and it is because they came together for a party or whatever the case may be, and you get it. So what I'm trying to say is that we must do our part in trying to prevent the spread of this COVID-19 virus in our communities, and we do that by trying to stay home. If you have a purpose to be out there, then that's fine, you know, but we are trying to limit that so we'll limit the exposure of this virus. And I think that will go a long way to assist in the government's efforts, because imagine if we have this thing widespread where we're having a lot of people going being quarantined, or hospitals becoming overwhelmed, and people at home where can't get the medical attention, and we're in trouble, you know.
Yeah,
we'll be in trouble because we won't have the necessary resources, the necessary healthcare practitioners that will be able to assist, and that is where we don't want to go. And the best way to do that is keep this virus at bay by not exposing or spreading it, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is that one time then people not they adhere by the rules and the regulations, then it not only mess them up, because if they catch a virus, then they can transmit it to somebody else who will try to take care of themselves and take care of the community.
And this virus is not fully understood yet, you know. It affects people. I was watching the news lately, and people will have the virus for weeks and still have it.
Yes.
They might have gotten over the symptoms or not, but the virus is still with them.
Yeah. Somebody said, do you know if when pensioners will be paid, because it was said that it has been paid before Easter? I understand some pensioners said that they collect already. He said people from our districts are still coming in. We need checkpoints in district boundaries. Toll bridge won't work because they can say they are from Carmelita. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I have a question for the minister. He is the Deputy Minister of Security. Why is alcoholic beverages still being sold in stores at this point in time, at this critical point in time? I think people consuming alcohol are the ones that tend to want to go out. You know, I don't think alcoholic beverages is a priority. You know, you have the companies still working, you have Belkin still working, other rum factories are still working. I think that's not a priority. I think sales of alcohol beverages in stores supposed to be stopped completely, removed from shelves. I think that's what causing other people to want to go out. And once they have a little higher, so they want to go out, they feel they can do it. So I think it's a point to ponder, it's something to take in consideration. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Carl. I think, everybody is entitled to their opinions, and I think everybody has their own thought. Definitely when it comes to the alcohol, well, I think everybody should be responsible. And then we come to the question if people are responsible out there, because, right now at this point in time, as a head of a household, I will tell you, I don't want to go spend one cup up and no beer or no nothing, because I know that the priorities lie elsewhere.
So no alcohol is consuming at your house right now?
Well, I know. Basically, no, because me and my man will not take one drink by myself. I prefer take one drink with somebody, and that is not priority. And I think people must be responsible enough. Having it on the shelves or having it allowed to be sold during this time, well, of course, that is there to be debated. I am not for it or against it. I think that at the end of the day, as citizens, we must be responsible enough to know if we want to spend our money on that or not. At the end of the day, I understand what he's saying about people might want to come out, that means people after they get high, they want to take one walk out. But there's nothing to be seen out there anyway. So that's something to be considered, though, I think, and thought of.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Yes, good morning, Sheffield.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. I want to mention that this COVID virus is attacking our country of Belize. It is putting a terrible blow on our economy. Money is scarce, jobs not around. It is destroying our social well-being. We can't eat together, we can't drink together, we can't go party together. And worse than that, it is killing our people. Now, we as Belizeans, we can help or we can make things worse. We can make it worse by becoming desperate and joining the virus and attacking all those who are doing everything possible to fight the virus. Attacking the government workers, attacking the health workers especially, who are dedicating their lives and taking all the chance to heal back our people. It is attacking the police, who is trying to do a job of keeping order so we do not spread this virus. And those, you see, our people here have to learn. We cannot attack these people who are fighting to defend us in one way or the other. It is counterproductive when we start to attack all those who are working for the government, all those who are working for the health of the people, all those like the police who are trying to maintain order on the street and things like that. We who become negative are not helping. We who are in a better position to take care of ourselves, we must try to assist those who need help in this terrible time of need. If I'm living in a house and I know my neighbor needs some help, doesn't have food, doesn't have anything, man, let me take a little of what I have and help the neighbor, instead of looking for what I can grab from the neighbor. Things that have been given to our neighbors, to the people who need it, we must be thankful that they are getting it. We on our own who have must try to give our little also to help our people. For example, if I am at home and they bring things for me, my thing is, you know what? The neighbor in front of me needs it more than I. Give it to the neighbor. Give it to somebody who needs it more than I.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
We are all together in this thing, and we must help one another. Bottom line, we must be positive, not negative. By being negative, we are joining the coronavirus in attacking our people. We have to be positive. Let us be positive and do the things we need to do to protect ourselves. Let us be positive and try to help our neighbors. Try to help people we know who need the help. Let us not knock those who are defending and fighting to resist the virus. Thank you.
Yep. Very good points, Minister.
Thank you. Yes, of course, definitely. And, like I've said, we are in this together as a community. You know, and I will tell you, this thing affects everybody. There's not a person I know that can say, well, I know they get affected by this. It is affecting us. The matter of fact, we have to stay home. You know, and it affects a lot of people. And like I said, for me, the greatest concern is those people who are affected even so much more.
Hello, good morning. Muy buenos días.
Yes, morning again.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
First of all, Minister, I want to give you a big thanks for all the help that you give right here to Orange with the food hampers that you give up.
All right.
I consider that you are always there for the people. You are always there for the people of Orange. My concern right now is that the help that the government promised is taking too long to reach the people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carla. And definitely, I know the government is continuing. I think the Prime Minister, in his speech yesterday, his address to the nation, I think he addressed some of the challenges and the amount. I think we have over 24,000 people who have received assistance,
right?
And they're still processing others.
Yes.
And hopefully they're going to process as much as they can to reach out to everybody as possible.
And you say, Minister, some people might wait long to get their confirmation, but once you get your confirmation, then every 2 weeks you will continue. Then you're going to the system already, so you won't have that delay again, right?
Right. So those are the challenging things, but like I said, Cheki, definitely the government is not perfect. I don't think no government is. I know our government is doing its best in terms of how to deal with this COVID virus, trying to deal with the most vulnerable. And I will tell you, Cheki, I know that this thing impacts everybody because people talk to me. You have people, and when I said earlier, it impacts, we have to be very concerned about those people who it impacts, who might not be able to access the support from government quickly. You know, for instance, to me, the people we have to be concerned about is those who are less fortunate, those that are impacted drastically. And what I mean by that, you have people out there like in Carmelita. We have the guys who do sand, you know, where shovel sand and load the trucks. Since constructions have stopped, trucks don't go in and go get sand. And then people live day to day by shoveling sand. So if they don't go out there and have no truck for full, they know they make the lead $25 for the day.
Yeah.
And what happens to them? A lot of these people have young kids there. You know, in the rural areas, you find people who have their wife and a lot of kids, you know. Some, you know, people have a lot of kids. Some in Tonga might have a lot of children, but elsewhere you have people who have a lot, especially in rural areas. And so no, you can't shove sand. So what happened to you? You know, they make it 25, and you got mouths to feed. And these are the people who I know are adversely affected, and these are the people, when I go out and try assist with food pantry, we try to reach out to them. That's why I say if we miss people, let us know so we could see what we do. But definitely, these are the people which I think need the assistance, and these are the people I encourage to call the human development, forget the food assistance, because they need it. And I think in every district through the human development office, I think people understand or should understand those most in need, the areas that have more are of more need than others, because we live in a real world, and in every community you have people who are better off than others, and some who are really feeling the pinch. And I think as a community, like the Carla mentioned, if we work together as a community, man, we can come out of this together. And that is why I say, you know, when you look at the food pantry that we do, like I personally do, I try to reach out to the most in need, you know, because there are people who, yes, everybody at this point in time needs. There's not a question that you don't need, you know, but they have people who are worse off, and we're trying to reach
people
those
have
people.
no other option.
No other option, Cheki. And I tell you this, like I said, you know, right now we are looking to work again to reach out to our people again, very shortly. But the government has its program, so access that program likewise. You know, try to reach out and get that support from the government. As a community, we could look out for our neighbors, like I tell you. You know, if there's somebody really need, we could put something together and try to reach out to these people.
Yeah, but when I talk about poverty, Minister, it's not only in Belize, you know, big countries like the United States. If you go there, you see some area where some people live. It's not only in Belize, it's all over.
If you go to New York, you got one whole strip of homeless. You ask yourself, what happened to them people now?
Yeah.
You know, and it's tough, and I think a lot of people out there Some of them make their living through the generosity of people that they meet on the streets.
Yes.
But right now, they meet nobody but
No.
the streets. So, and this dealing with the COVID situation does not stop in terms of people who they go through the dialysis treatment, who have to still find
Oh,
out.
yes,
It
true.
doesn't stop none of what has the challenges that you maybe were facing if you were ill or they suffered diabetes and that. It is compounded with the COVID-19 situation. So if people were already having it hard, imagine now with this COVID where everything has come to a standstill, they might have it even harder. So our heart has to go out to these people, and I think, Checky, if we as a community do our best to work together and that then we will be doing something good to assist our country. Our government cannot do it alone. Government is doing everything possible, borrowing money here, trying to get donations from abroad, from international agencies to come in and assist. It is coming, then they get the lead help, but that will not be everything. It will not give for everybody. So we as a community must do our part likewise, Checky.
Yeah.
And I think we can. By the little things that we do, we can definitely assist, especially you're there by your neighborhood, by your street, and you can help out. Larry, when you got no job or you got no wheelchair, you send him a little bag of groceries, that will go a long way for him, Or you refer him and guide him to try to get on the government system. So there's a lot of things we can do, and definitely one of the simplest things we can do is not spreading out the disease out there or being compromising our frontline people who are working out there. So by staying at home, sometimes, yes, it's not easy for people who like they're out there or who like they move and they get work done. But
you're safe when at the home.
It's safe at home, and it's contributing.
Yeah. Minister, how we stand when it comes to security forces, the BDF, the police, and the Coast Guard, and everything when it comes to the northern districts? How we stand? We got resources and have enough vehicle, have enough fuel and everything for them to move around?
I think that, nothing will ever be enough. Well, before the COVID-19, we still never have enough vehicles and stuff. But definitely, I think we are okay. I checked this week with the officer in charge here in Orange Walk to find out if he had enough PPEs, the protective gear equipment, and he said yes. I spoke with the commission to find out. I know the Ministry of National Security put in a request to the Ministry of Finance that was approved for the purchase of these PPE equipment for our frontline people, especially in terms of the Coast Guard, the military, the police, So these equipments are there. As far as when I spoke to Commissioner likewise, he said they're getting more and more will be sent to the various districts. So our men and women in uniform will be able to have the basic protection for themselves out there, while they're carrying out their duties. But definitely, it's not easy being out there. It's not easy because, like I said, these people have families too, so their families are concerned that
they are at risk as well, right?
They're at risk, of course. They're the frontline people. The people who are most at risk are our frontline people. So when you say like people donating food and assisting, I mean that goes a long way, to helping these people at the front line, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that have to deal with the public, deal with the infection, etc.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say this to Minister. Hello?
Yes.
You're live. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. You're there.
I just want to call and say this one more thing, Brother Chiki and Minister. I just want to say that, man, the general public, we need to work with each other. If somebody give you a little red beans, I don't know what I want black beans. If they give you a little chicken from quality culture, I don't want that. I want. You understand me, man? People need to understand. We need to work with each other. You understand me? Somebody give you something, and no special thing with the pick and choose, man. You understand me? Because I tell you, we have people who are really hungry. So no make we go them road them, man. Make we respect each other and respect the personnel and the people then when they try to reach out. Right? Thanks.
Yeah, man, straight,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Checky, in our community right now, there's a lot of people who are really reaching out to assist, and I must take this time to say you have the Chinese Association. They have put some pantries together which they'll be issuing out on Saturday to people and they have reached out with coupons for those most in need within our communities.
Good.
You know, so you see every area can do something, and you know, we must commend the Chinese for taking that initiative and reaching out to the poorest of the poor, you know, so I must commend them on that. Because putting pantries together costs money.
Yeah,
I know that what they are doing will cost them as a community in terms of the Chinese community in Orange Walk monies. But it is going to assist people, and definitely everything and what everybody does goes a long way for those who are less fortunate, those who have it harder. Because there are people out there where they suffer, like the caller said. Definitely, maybe you know might they suffer as like that, but there are people out there. I am telling you, because I know these people will talk about a man where chose son. I'm telling you, they'll have it hard because they make no income. Yeah. And they live from hand to mouth. That means they make them 25 today. That is the money they will live on. And then go back next day, go
and that's not happening now.
And it's not happening now, so you know these people will have it hard. And like I said, you know, like if you care somebody groceries and they don't need it, they say give me neighbor instead, because you know the situation of your neighbor. So to me, these are the things that we can do as a community, and like the man said, we have to be grateful for whatever people give you. You know, because at the end of the day, people are trying to do and reach out to you to assist you. So, you know, like I always tell people, together we will come out of this if we are united as a community.
Right, all right.
After one another, you know.
It's 21 minutes now after 8 minutes. We'll take our final break of the morning, and when we come back, we'll continue with this discussion right here, live on North Television Channel 10, also on East Radio. Robert Cheque Usher, along with Minister Aragon, will be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
Goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Kaparbank, and part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
Sure, all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar-cured ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The Government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome here, Minister. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. We are live, folks, and you know the Minister is doing a little community service right now. You know the chap now, you know, got shoveling about. He's taking care of his people, and he will be back. But persons are calling about the checkpoint from Orange Walk to Corozal because they are saying that persons are coming in from Corozal to Orange Walk because we have been made to understand that the Western Union in Corozal are not operating. We understand that the MoneyGram is not operating, and people are coming into Orange Walk from Corozal to buy items as well. So we will ask the Minister what can be done or what's his views on that. Minister, people are coming in from out district, from Corozal to Orange Walk to come to Western Union and MoneyGram and come to buy things because we understand that the MoneyGram in Corozal is not operating. So people have to come from way there to get the money right there. And they are passing the district lines, and we have to remember, with no discrimination, but Corozal has 2 positive cases as well, but they are under quarantine.
Yeah.
What can you say to that?
Well, I think first the people who are responsible for these wire transfer business, no, in terms of monies, I think government made it specific in the regulations to allow them to open, because you know government realizes that there are people abroad out there, family members who will be sending money to assist those here.
Right.
And these things, by having them open, assist the public in accessing these funds that are needed, no?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, if they are coming here, I wasn't aware of that. You're telling me that, and if we have people coming in from Corozal, well, you know, they're coming in, they have a purpose, they need money, because maybe that is the only money they'll have to buy their groceries. But I would want to think that it would be wise for the business to open in Corozal so people could access those
Is
funds.
there any way that government can look into it to make sure that these people open for the service? Because that should be an essential service now.
Yes. I think it is important because no matter what is happening, family will look after family. And if you got family members abroad, they definitely, and they send money, you know, people need to access those funds. And like you said, Shakid, I know we're not to discriminate, but I think Orange Walk and I think PG and other districts, Sand Creek, we have had no confirmed cases here as yet. And I think that is very good for us. And, you know, that is why the social distancing that is spoken about a lot, and we re-emphasize it a lot, is the social distancing works. It has been proven that it works, you know. And if we can do that, you know, we will continue to beat this COVID-19 pandemic, in terms that we will not have an overwhelming amount of people going to our hospitals for medical attention, and that is the key factor here. But I think that definitely people, I hope they are listening. The business people who are responsible for those wire transfer business in Corozal could look into that. But we have to look at it. But definitely, it is good to know. So we could maybe discuss those.
Do you believe the health system, the frontline workers on the health system, are doing a good job, Minister?
I think, of course. I mean, listen, it's not easy, and it's not easy when you, let's say, any frontline workers, especially those who are working at the medical institutions, but likewise those in national security. And when I mean national security, I'm talking about men and women in uniform, no matter which uniform you put on, whether they put on the BDF, police, Coast Guard, or you put on customs, immigration, or you put on the whatever. When you are a frontline worker, it is not easy, because you're out there working, especially when you have to go deal with man who no listen, and in terms of the curfew and things like that, or you have to be at the front line dealing with people who come in who might be sick. You don't know if they have the virus, not have the virus. These are things that they are human beings, so they're going through that stress, and because I've always said they have families at home, they have families and friends out there, loved ones. So definitely, I mean, it is not easy doing their job at this point in time. Because you are there, they're at risk. We can't say another at risk. They are at risk because they are the frontline workers, And that is why it is important that administrators and people who oversee these entities, these departments, ensure that their personnel get the necessary equipment to remain as safe as possible. And it's not easy. And so I commend everybody in uniform, all our frontline workers that are out there. I commend you, I salute you, because the job that you are doing right now is more than commendable. It speaks to your dedication and commitment to this country. It speaks about your wanting to assist those and especially this country in the greatest of need, during this crisis, during this pandemic. And it's not easy, Checky. I tell you, I commend everybody out there, the families, the wives, the kids that are there, knowing that their father or their mother leaves for work every day, being out there risking themselves. It's not easy for them either, because they worry. So I know it's not easy, but at the end of the day, this is their job, this is their commitment, the role they will have to play during this pandemic, and I will tell you, because I've been through some of these things before in my lifetime as a police officer. When you have demonstration and stuff like that, you have to be there while everybody they're all there. Otherwise, you have to be there at the front line dealing with the leaks and the risks that will come with the job. But such is it, and at this point in time, I think that we must commend these people, and that's why I'm very thankful when I could say the people out there in our communities will come together and say, what, we will feed these people, we will do this for frontline workers. I think it goes a long way, because we must support them and be thankful that they're out there doing this job, because they're not we, they're them doing it. And I think we have to commend them for that. And I'm grateful to know that we have men and women in uniform who are prepared to do that for this country,
Yeah, and that is good to know, because like you say, they are out there for us, and they are fighting. So we need to do for we part too. Like the Attorney General said, how you feel if you lock up on Sunday? You feel boring or true, but what if you have to lock up every day?
Yeah. Oh, what if you would have to the older at the front line, they deal with somebody who come in, the car after the hospital, you don't know if a fresh cold the man got or what, that is another
And
stress.
they cannot turn back these people.
No.
They have to work on them, right? No. Yeah, please don't forget condolences to the Torres family on the passing of Mr. Arsenio Torres.
Right.
Passed away 10 a.m. Funeral service 10 a.m. this morning. Yeah, okay. So
yeah, I think he passed away in Champaridge.
That's someone
a day before yesterday. Yes, okay. Somebody. Mr. Torres, he passed away. Our condolences and sympathies go to the family, Miss Martha Grijalva, Mr. Rick Torres, and all the other family members. It's sad, but I mean, it's tough when you lose somebody during this time. Checky, because you know why? Because
the family can't come together.
You can't come together. Then you have to just bury like that. I know a family right now who a loved one in they are Belizeans, but they're in America. They passed, the loved one passed away. They're up to now, they can't bring the body back. You know, it's really tough, you know. I tell you, this has impacted everybody, you know, but like I said, our condolences go to the Torres family, you know. It is tough, and we understand that, and our sympathies are with you all during this time.
Yeah,
and
so
I think, you know, you had Mr. Burgos pass away.
Oh yes,
during the week.
former mayor.
Yeah, former mayor, you know. Our sympathies and condolences go to the family too.
Yeah, even the bishop.
You know. Yeah, the bishop passed away too.
You know, and then those have to be those limited amount of persons for funerals as well, right?
And these people like you know, Mr. Derek Wright and you had Mr. Burgos. They are well known within our communities, and you know, they pass away like that. They don't get the kind of you know, a lot of people really not come together for that, because I get during this time, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good to know, you know, because they are well known, and you know, we know their contribution to their communities.
Yeah.
You know?
Somebody sent a text pertaining to the persons that are coming in from Corozal. They say, morning, they are coming into town to get money sent from abroad. They have a PIN number to show and proof to enter it. So I have family members in Corozal, and it is true that they are closing Corozal.
Yeah, well, I think the businesses, people responsible for that have to look at that, because if you have one business, I mean, essential as that, I think they should at least open to give the service to the community they serve, you know.
Yeah. Minister, apart from that, persons are saying, oh, we hear DJ offices are open to the utility companies are open, and what? Then they force you if you go pay?
No, I think the chairman of BWS made it clear that they're opening it up because there are people out there who want to pay, you know. And I think if people want to pay their bills, I mean, I think they should be allowed to pay their bills, because you have some people who can't afford to pay their bills at this time. So make them pay, because by them paying, then we keep the BWS open enough for others who might not be able to make those payments now.
Right. Somebody sent a text saying what can the law do for those persons that are bringing up the prices. They say here in San Jose Socots, the prices are going high, especially at the Chinese shop.
Yeah, well, I think that is a situation that has to be monitored closely, and I think the Bureau of Standards have to do their work right now, and I think I would want to deem them essential services, because they need to go there to ensure that the business community is not raising the prices on basic goods. I mean, that should not be the case at this point in time. I mean, I think business owners are supposed to be conscious enough to know that, listen to me, the imports have not ceased, etc. So, you know, I mean, no, up your prices. It needs so you remain normal or even bring it down.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning. Early in the week, I called and tried to, open conversation about paying your bills. And I mentioned that the people that are reading the meters are going around me reading the meters, but there is no disbursement of bills. They say you need to pay online. Very good. I mean, not wrong with that. But you have a lot of people that they're not computer literate.
Yeah.
So how will they get their bills? You know, I think issuing of bills is necessary so that people that cannot use a computer or a smartphone to do payment online. And there's a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that they have. Right, that they cannot pay their bills online. How much they pay, they don't know, because they're not getting a bill. They're not getting a black and white paper saying how much they owe, you know. And this is it will be a big problem for the people that cannot do that, you know. So I think these utility companies need to continue with giving out bills. A lot of bills come via online. I know a lot of that's happening, but there are a lot of people in the villages, even here in town, that they're not computer literate. So how will they access anything to know what they owe, right? So I think these companies need to, because if a person can go and read the meter physically, go around on a bicycle or a motorcycle and reading your meter, I think they could also physically go and deposit your bill in your mailbox. You know, that's a point that we need to see that these utility companies do. Thank you very much.
Sure, man. All right, good, Carla. Good. I think your reflection is good on some of those points, and I think BWS has to decide how and see how they will manage in terms of issuing of the bills, because it's true not everybody deal with online banking or pay through their phone and things like that. And if you want to go pay, then you need to know how much you owe.
And you need your account number and your customer number.
Yeah, that's right. So these are things I guess has to be looked into now.
Yeah, let's take this next one. Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Buenos días. Solo quería hacer una preguntita. ¿De qué manera se puede conseguir la comida? ¿En qué número podemos llamar?
All right. There's several numbers. Hay diferentes números que puedes llamar. No sé si tienes acceso al internet.
Dígame el número, por favor.
Hay diferentes. No lo tengo dispuesto ahorita, pero está en mi Facebook, en Elodio Aragón Facebook. Allá tengo todos los direcciones, instrucciones cómo para llamar y todo. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so you
that
know,
is available on your page?
Yes, I put it on the Facebook page in terms of the numbers to call, and also we have there's an online. I think they have Human Development put an online application that if you don't get through with the phone calls, then you can follow the application, and it's quite quick because I personally sat down and went over it.
Yeah.
It's nothing long, nothing difficult, and it's a quick process. Some people say when you apply online, you get quicker service. I don't know how true that is, but
well, it goes directly into the system.
Yeah, so I would think that that you know, I advise everybody to who need that food assistance to call in. You know.
Yeah, talking about assistance, Minister, my phone went down. The last time you were here, you mentioned about some assistance that you were given in the east, and you said you may go back, you may do it again.
Yes.
The time has not come for that as yet, no?
No, we are working right now in putting things together. You know, because we have to be able to gather these commodities, pack them and bag them,
right,
and prepare. And then, you know, you don't want to go there and just give 50 or 100. You want to go there to be able to give maybe 8 to 1,000 families, you know.
Right.
At this point in time, we have done one wrong, and I'm working on another wrong. And I'm trying to reach out to the most in need, you know. It's not one for every household, but rather for those most in need. And it's not easy because everybody needs at this point in time, Checky. You are taught to anybody, everybody needs, you know. But at the end of the day, there are people out there who have it really feeling the pinch on this, you know. And I've always asked people, if in your neighborhood you say we miss somebody, let us know, man. Especially if they need, text me, make I know, and then
you're
we
not intentional that you
know
miss somebody,
and
right?
then we could say to reach out to those people, because that is what I've been doing lately. People that we have missed, we catch up with them, and I'm going to assist them, you know, and things like that. But that's not an easy thing neither, because these are not government funds, check it. These are funds that I have to find personally, from my own personal, and of course from whatever the community help. But I'll tell you, it's not easy out there, because the business are not out there right now doing well either, for said that then just go assist, you know. So those are challenges likewise, but I think that everybody doing their part, at the end of the day, we will together we will overcome this thing. And like I said, it's about reaching out to those most in need.
Okay.
And so that is what we are doing. But nevertheless, we are working on that, and we are looking towards reaching out again to those most in need in our community here in the East.
Okay, Minister, we're going into the weekend. You mentioned, you don't know if the new SI has signed as yet, but if that has been signed, then 4 o'clock today, all persons up to 16 years and down should not be out after 4. Then we have this total shutdown on Sunday. Persons are coming in to do their shopping. Your closing remarks and your advice to everybody who will be shopping, you know, how to come and do it, and reminding everyone that the curfew is still on, and Sundays are total lockdown.
Yeah, total lockdown. Sundays, we're asking people to stay home, period. I mean, you know, and knowing that Sunday is closed, knowing that stores are limited in the hours that they open. I mean, you can schedule yourself in terms of knowing that, listen, I need to get certain provisions or do certain things. Then you schedule that so that you, I'd say, like, everybody would like to leave things last minute. And then you see Saturday, crowds, evening, you know. I mean, like if I know like this weekend is coming Sunday, I'll go on from today or from yesterday, give me the list, and I set, I know the worry for go back there on Saturday, because, you know, you come out Sunday, you see a lot of people moving around. But at the end of the day, everybody have to do their own scheduling, and at the end of the day, I just want to reiterate that Sunday is basically a shutdown.
That's for everything?
Everything. So nothing is happening Sunday. and people know this. I think last week there wasn't enough. How would I put it?
The announcement came out a little late.
It came out late, I think, and we have to understand that we weren't fully aware about that, and a lot of people caught off guard. A lot of business owners, etc., didn't know. But I think it has been made clear now, and definitely we will see that on Sunday.
Hello, good morning, buenos días.
Buenos días. Mire, estoy hablando de aquí de Landriga.
Landriga.
Ayer dieron comida aquí, pero nosotros somos de Landriga y nos dieron hacer una fila a la tercera edad y a la hora no nos dieron nada. Es como política, porque solo los que son políticos les estaban dando.
¿Usted tenía una aplicación? ¿Ustedes aplicaron?
No, nosotros no hemos aplicado nada.
Pero todo eso va por aplicación, ¿verdad, ministro?
Todo. Ahorita todo que el gobierno está haciendo, nada está yendo por el parte de los políticos, nada de eso. Yo te puedo decir eso porque como representante, like a representative, not a green has come through government. And I want to make that explicitly clear. I think the Prime Minister has made that explicitly clear that not a green is going to come through any representative, any minister. And I could tell you that is rightly so. And I think at the end of the day, you must understand why that is being done. It is being done because at the end of the day, we don't want to play politics with this thing. We don't want nobody could say, oh, the politics, because if they allow it to go through representatives and ministers, the first thing I say, well, they only give them people, or they only look after this. So that we want to eliminate that totally. The Prime Minister has made it clear that it is being done by the Oversight Committee and whatever committees have been set up to manage how people get their assistance, how they get their food pantry. That is there. All I will tell you, maybe the gentleman that called.
Let's see if he's calling back. Hello, good morning, buenos días.
Mr. Obregón,
Yes.
se me olvidó preguntarle algo. El chino de acá, de Puebla 4, está subiendo sus precios.
Yeah.
Una sola que compré aquella vez, se lo dije a Mr. Checky, 75, lo subieron a Dallas. Y el aceite de 1 to 3, el otro chino le da 12.50. I got 13.50.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, the Bureau of Standards have to look into those situations because that to me is unethical. You understand? I mean, at a time like this, you want to take advantage of people is not right. And my advice to all Belizeans, if you go to a store and you notice it, do not buy from him and go and buy somewhere else. No get on your business. You're not getting on your business now, you're not getting on your business later. Because then he's not doing his part as a citizen, as a good community entity, you know.
¿Sabe que también acá en el Vice Trend tienen que usar su máscara para que puedan comprar? Si no tienen su máscara, no entras a comprar.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of businesses are doing that, and I don't give them wrong because they are looking after the safety not only of themselves there, but of their staff, but likewise of the people who are in the store. And that is why I think they request that. And I will tell you, when you talk about the mask, listen to me, there's nothing out there because we don't really understand the full virus yet, the effects of how this virus spreads. And I would say if you can take necessary precautions, especially going into a store where you have a certain amount of people in there, I think it would be best you put your mask. I use a mask when I go to stores because it's not only about myself, It is about other people in the store because they don't know who I am, if I have it or not have it. And I think it is just being considerate of others to put a mask when you go into these stores. And I think it is important because we don't understand this virus yet. People say you've heard from the World Health Organization talking about the mask, the use of masks, etc. So for me, you're going into a store where there's among the people in there, I think it's best you put your mask, Yeah. But definitely, that is something which I think it's not only about you, it is about being considerate for other people in there, But Checky, my thing is that we were talking about, and I just wanted to make clear, is that people might confuse, maybe a representative is giving out something and they may figure that is from government. It is not from government. Any representative that is out there, whether a UDP, PUP leader, giving out anything out there, that comes from them. Okay. And wherever they got it, whether they got it some help from the business community or from their personal funds, that comes from them, I could tell you. But whatever is coming from government, I will tell you this, there's not a hand in it from any minister, from any representative. Not a grain of rice is coming through any minister. And those programs, you must apply for those programs. If you don't apply for that program or you will catch line for receive, you don't get, because you are not, you have not gone through the process of applying for it. Yeah. Because I get to understand through, like the food pantry, when you apply, they give you a reference number, and then after that, they call you back and they tell you which shop to go to, etc. And then you go and pick up your stuff. Your name will already be there, and you get your stuff. So you must apply. But like I said, sometimes the food program is going on at the same time. You see people, they get groceries in your area, you wonder, the government, they give it all because of the UDP or that the PUP, they give it. It's not that. Every representative, I think, I would want to hope that a lot of them are trying to do the best to assist in this time of need for their constituencies. But again, like I said, the government has their program, and I ask everybody to apply to government for that. No. Yeah, well, sorry that we interrupt you in your closing remarks, sake of the calls, but let's continue with your closing remarks. Yeah, well, it's time for us to go. Time fly, not Chicken. Time fly. Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure here, Chicken. I must thank you and the staff here at Channel 10 for having me here. And I will try to be here every week, like I tell you, because I think it's important for us to discuss the issues with the public out there, for them to be made aware of what is happening, where we are. At this point in time, I would like to say is that this COVID-19, this coronavirus, that's not something where I not see it disappearing tomorrow. It's going to be here around us. How it will impact us in terms of, we are already impacted upon this, but how far it will impact us, I guess it's everyone's guess in terms of how long this virus will be around. My whole thing is about ensuring that we prevent this virus. That means we prevent the spread of this virus. The least amount of people who catch this virus for this country goes a long way to ensuring that we don't overwhelm our healthcare system, because that is the key issue there right now. Because I will tell you, if you look at America, you look at all over the world, the countries are overwhelmed in their health system in terms of this virus. I'm glad that we live in Belize. I'm glad that we only have so much cases. I'm glad that we have no case in Orange Walk as yet, and we have had for the last 3 days no new cases, so that is good. But we must continue to maintain that. We cannot falter in terms of bringing down our guard in regards to these things, Okay. And I am confident that together, as a community, as a people, together, working together, looking after our brothers and sisters who are less fortunate, people who are in most of need. If we could do that, if each one of us in our street, one street, and we say, out of this street, we got 2 people, every family that need help, and we could reach out to them, it will go a long way for us to overcome this together. I am confident that this pandemic will come to pass, like in history. Pandemics have come and gone, so too will the coronavirus. How we move, how we overcome this, or how we come through this together is what is important. And I think that together, as Belizeans, we will overcome this. And I think we can do a good job in terms of having passed through this thing. And history will regard us as doing the necessary things to come out on top, Your advice on the curfew? On the curfew, listen, the government, the state of emergency is out there. It is there for a purpose. It's not there because government just want to make you stay home, etc. It is there because we know that this is a serious situation, and we are trying to ensure that we curtail this from becoming a serious problem on our healthcare system, a serious problem for our citizens. And I think that government is doing what it can with the resources it has, and I am sure that we as citizens can do our part to be responsible, to ensure we know where our kids are at a certain hour, to do what is right and abide by the law. And yes, we're at home, and yes, it's impacting everybody, but at the end of the day, we want to come out of this together. Well, Minister, thanks very much. Want to wish you the best, and thanks for helping the people. Thanks for having your heart there, because that's what we need at this time. And I'm glad that you reiterated that it's us. It's within us
if we do the right thing, then we will remain safe. And I like that you say help your neighbors. If you know that they need help, help them. So we expect that you'll be here next week.
Sure, man.
If
sure.
the good Lord so will and nothing serious not come up. But I know if things serious come up, you will still try to make your time to talk to the people,
definitely.
right? So thanks again and have yourself a wonderful day. Folks, Robert Checker Usher, the show repeats at 8 o'clock tonight. We say good morning to everyone listening to the East Radio. And we say until Monday, folks. So have yourself a great time, a great weekend, and stay safe. If you can stay home, stay home.
Sugar City Morning Show.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give